Anyone? Anyone at all, teachers included? Savitri. Savitri, a story from the Mahabharata, in which this young and pure woman argues with death to bring her husband back to life. Her husband, who was given only 1 year to live with her. Sri Aurobindo took this legend and he made it a symbol. A symbol of what? A symbol of the conquest of death through love. And a symbol of the transformation of the earth to a divine life on earth. Okay, we don't see that now. True. What we see is dictators being toppled, violent regimes, economies in ruin. We see disharmony prevalent all over the world. But beneath all of that, there is a powerful change going on. That change is a transformative change. And one of the ways of that change that we are using now is music. And the first work, an Adesh, given to me by the mother. Remember now, I'm kneeling before the greatest being I have ever seen in my life. She has just given me the initiation into the integral yoga. Tears are pouring from my face, and I'm looking up at her, and she says, "You must bring down a new music." Wow. Roughly your age, give or take a few years. I said, "Mother, I don't know anything about combining words and music." Because I was studying different languages. I was singing in Russian, in German, in French, in Italian, in English, and singing songs that were written by the great poets, and the composers took those poems and put them to music. What did Mother say to me? "No, no, you must go far above words and bring down the pure music." 50 years I've been working on this. 50 years. And some 7 or 8 years ago, I listened to thousands and thousands of pieces of music. Every kind of music you can imagine. And I know you people have been listening to certain music. It's a little tough for me, but I've listened to rock, I've listened to hard rock, I've listened to acid rock, I've listened to electronic music, 12-tone music, the most dissonant music you can imagine, music that will break your ears. It's so loud, and you know about this too, I know. And I have listened to classical music, I have listened to ragas, I have listened to so many kinds of music. 7 or 8 years ago, the word came down to me to begin Om choirs. Om, the most powerful sound in all the languages of the world. And we are going to have an Om choir here, probably on my third day. And you will experience something you have never experienced before. Because we will work through the training of the voice, the opening, the aspiration for something higher in our lives, and the descent of a new music coming through these human bodies, changing them in fact. And I have experience after experience that is on our ashram website, Aurobindo.info, that you can look up. People who have had experiences of healing chronic diseases, chronic problems with knees, pain, semi-paralysis of the arms, all healed just through the power of Om. So I want us to have a choir, an Om choir, just before I leave. Also, I'm going to share poetry. Could I have a show of hands, and I know there may only be one or two, but how many of you like poetry? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Well, I think you're all going to like it at the end, because I've got incredible poetry for you. Because sometimes poets can encapsulate a truth more than all the lectures in the world in just a few words. And I'm going to read a poem for you now by a man who was in prison, a man who did bad things, who didn't have a way in life, and he now teaches people all over the world how to live a clean life. No alcohol, no drugs. So this poem is called This Day. Very short poem. Do you know what a robin is? Anybody knows what a robin is? Show of hands. It's a bird. Robin's a bird. It's called This Day. I feel foolish, like those silly robins jumping on the ditch boughs when I run by them. Those robins do not have the grand style of the red-tailed hawk. No design, no dream. Just robins acting stupid. They have never smoked cigarettes, drank whiskey, consumed drugs as I have. In their mindless fluttering about filled with nonsense, they tell me how they love the Great Spirit. Scold me not to be self-pitying, to open my life and make this day a bough on a tree, leaning over infinity, where eternity flows forward, and with day the river runs carrying all that falls in it. Be happy, Jimmy, they chirp. Jimmy, be silly. Make this day a tree, leaning over the river eternity, and fuss about in its branches. In Savitri, Sri Aurobindo writes, all the world's possibilities in man are waiting as the tree waits in its seed. Wow. All the world's possibilities in man are waiting as the tree waits in its seed. All those possibilities are waiting in you. You can be whatever you want to be. Whatever you want to be, you can be. First thing is to cast out fear. Fear is something of the vital nature. And I don't want to get into deep philosophy about it. But we have to confront it. We have to look at fear and see what it is. I'll give you an example of one of the stories of the mother. And I don't remember it exactly, but it's about a tiger and a man facing a tiger in a dream with tremendous fear. You know, the tiger has tremendous vital force, and it instills fear in everyone. And the mother said, look at that tiger without fear, and it got smaller and smaller and smaller, and it became a little kitty cat. That's how we have to face fear. With courage, with perseverance, with strength, with determination. What is there to fear? As the great saying, there's nothing to fear but fear itself. Nothing to fear. If I can share and inculcate in you students one thing, only one thing in these 3 days, is not to have fear. Don't be afraid of anything. You have within you all the strength you need to realize your highest dreams, to be what you wish to be, to become leaders in the world. So, let me ask you, starting here, what do you want to be? What is your greatest interest in life?
So there are few things which I like, but I'm not very sure.
Okay, she likes a few things, but she's not very sure. Well, that's understandable. It took me years to be very sure about many things. And Mother gave me 3 different jobs to do. We say Adesh, huh? The first Adesh was to bring down a new music. The second Adesh was, there is a gigantic tree over the Samadhi in the Sri Aurobindo ashram, where the body of Sri Aurobindo and the Mother are placed. And this tree has shaded millions of people over the years. In 1972, there was a great cyclone, and that cyclone took out a gigantic branch. And because I had been working with my father in landscaping all my life, and climbing trees and pruning, I knew how to cut it. And the boys who were up there were cutting it wrong, and if you cut a branch the wrong way, the weight of the branch that you cut will strip the bark all the way down from the tree and kill the tree. And so I asked my friend, whose name was Parichand, may I go up and help? So we cut from the